Hi, welcome to Thanks Academy, the podcast where we watch all the best picture winners of all time in random order with random friends. And today's random friend is Hunter Duncan, who thought we were watching Gigi today.
I was so excited to watch Gigi. I was actually looking up Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez facts before I came over. Because I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be, I'm going to drop some some Boston, some accents in here. I don't know what Gigi is. I have so many good facts about their relationship that
we can talk about Balo or whatever they were called.
Oh, what?
What was there?
It was, Jay and Ben Affleck. I mean, I feel like we're coming up with better ones. Jafflack sound...
Jafflack?
That sounds like a insurance or a cereal. Jafflack.
Ben F. Lopez.
That's Bengelo. No, I don't. Bengelo. I like that.
Ooh, I like Bengelo.
Ooh, that could be a flavor of...
I mean, we might as well talk about Gigi because I like that you thought I was breaking format just to fucking
I honestly thought, I was like, I didn't, was it ironic? Because a lot of the movies that she's watched are Academy, and I'm getting a special one. And I love romantic comedies, and this is...
Well, this might be one for all we know. Because, this is honestly the most low information I've ever been going into one of these. And perfect. I've been pretty low information before.
Yeah.
But I don't know what Gigi is.
Right.
What genre it is. Mm-hmm. They don't even... The poster they show me when I'm renting the movie just says Gigi. It doesn't have faces. I don't know if it's in color or black and white.
Oh, is it old?
It's 1958, so it's right in that zone where it could be black and white, could be color.
Oh, yes, please.
I don't know who's in it. I don't know if it's a musical or not.
Oh, my God.
All I know
for the last 2 weeks have been I've been telling people, I'm watching Gigi. You know what? It's one of the worst movie ever. I'm surprised I haven't seen it. This is something that I feel like I would see. I love Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez. She's dating A-Rod now. She's back in the media. This is going to be very relevant. I'm going to enjoy this. And
oh my God.
Gigi, 1958 Academy Award. Okay.
Of some sort, yeah. Who knows? I've never heard of this movie.
Right.
Nobody's ever mentioned it.
Never.
So I don't know what to do about even guessing what it's about.
Maybe was Gigi the new age version of it?
Like a remake?
Ooh, yes. That's what I am going to predict.
Let's pretend that, and then let's try to figure out who the Ben Affleck and who the Jennifer Lopez is in the old version. Right. Even if it turns out not to be true. Let's just force it. We're
going to push it, that square peg in that round hole.
But you haven't seen Gigi.
No. Because I was so pumped. I was like, this is going to be... and I was like, don't read about it, like you said, come in fresh. And I was like, well, I'll just do a little trivia. Look at the characters, the actors.
I haven't seen Gigi either. I've read 9,000 takedowns on it. I may have invested my time in a 30-minute YouTube video about what makes it so bad, because that's the kind of person I am.
Right.
So I feel like I've seen it, but I don't know it well enough to know if this is a remake. So we can just pretend it is.
I am going to assume, if you're listening, please know Gigi is the precursor, the prequel, that to Gigi. It's about 9 letters earlier than take that. Yeah, I'm excited now.
Yeah. In the 1950s, they weren't sure if people could pronounce Gigi.
Right.
They were a lot more confident in the 2000s.
Yes.
In people's ability to soften that second G.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like, we're in a more progressive time now. Gigi is now an easier way to say I'm definitely coming in fresh now. I'm a little nervous because I was like, I'm going to have some little tidbits. I'm going to be like, Ben Affleck.
This could be Shakespeare for all we know.
Oh my God.
Like one of Shakespeare's most obscure plays.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for.
It sounds French, but I think I'm only saying that because my grandma had a French poodle named Gigette.
Oh.
And it was evil in the way that only poodles can be evil.
Because
poodles are bred for intelligence.
I've heard they're smart, but I heard they're mean.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's a mistake in a dog. You don't want to put too much intelligence in a dog because, poodles are they have the intelligence of a 4-year-old child, but they're stuck in a deformed wolf's body, and they don't like it. Wow. They're very upset. And so she had this evil poodle, and I was at her house when I was a kid, and she made us spaghetti for dinner. And she had put it on the table to cool. We went outside to like catch fireflies or something while she drank her third cocktail before tucking into the dinner wine. You know, grandma's. And we come back in, and Gigi had jumped on the table and eaten like all the spaghetti.
Whoa.
Like fucking all of it. And so we got pizza or whatever. Later that night, after dinner, all the adults are talking, and I'm bored and I'm watching TV. And Gigi kind of walks over the corner and starts heaving in that creepy silent way that dogs do. Like no warning whatsoever. And then just opens her mouth and silently outfalls an adult serving of, digested spaghetti. Just right in front of me. And I make eye contact with the fucking dog.
Sure.
And I open my mouth to say something to the parents like, yo, the dog threw up. And I swear to God, that dog narrowed its eyes at me. And put its head down and re-ate the fucking spaghetti.
Oh my God.
Totally got rid of the evidence and then just walked away. And I was just like, that's the most evil thing I've ever seen happen.
That's insane. Well, one, you said, so is this what your 4-year-olds did? When you said they have the mind of a 4-year-old?
Well, I don't want to give them too much credit. Okay. I'm just saying.
I mean, no, I wasn't
self-aware and they have emotions they have no control over, but they're not going to like computer program or anything.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
They're still fucking dogs.
But they're still dogs. But they still know.
Yeah, they're moody. I had an evil poodle who used to skull fuck toys in front of people. Cricket used to get those, and we gave her those little chew toys, and she'd rip the eyeballs and mouth out.
Okay.
Which is fairly normal dog behavior.
Sure.
And then in a dinner party or any situation where we had a lot of people over, she'd drag that animal out into the middle of the room, turn it around, and just get down and fucking hump on its face while making eye contact with each individual human. It was the creep. Everybody else is laughing, but I'm like,
yeah, why are you like, like, yeah, it does this every night. This is, it was funny the first night, but now it's just like, look at me in the eyes. Yeah.
Right? Sleep with one eye open.
Sleep with one eye open so I can fuck it. Yeah. That dog was fucked up. That dog bit everybody. When we were having our first baby, we had to get rid of that dog because it was too bitey. And I gave her to a cross-country truck driver in the parking lot of a Chipotle. Oh, what? What? You just had the dog and you had your burrito and you were like, what?
I put her on Craigslist and a truck driver's like, meet me at Chipotle, and I did, and we just opened the cab of the truck and in went the dog, and I handed over the dog cage and whatever. And the paperwork, such as it was a rescue.
Right.
And then that truck driver drove off, and I was like, fuck off that dog. I gave, her a happy home where she can go skull fuck squirrels in the woods or whatever truck drivers do.
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, we get a call. And it's because he never changed the chip in her neck. And they're like, yeah, we found your dog. And it's like West Virginia.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, not my problem.
Oh, my. How long did you have this dog?
4 years and 2 marriages.
Okay.
So it was literally at the end of one marriage, and then I tried to leave the dog behind. I was like, "Hey, you get custody of the dog," and then my ex-wife drove that dog from California to Texas to drop it like a bomb in my second marriage, and then we handled that as well as we could for a couple of years, and then it was just like, no, that was an unwanted evil.
That is an unwanted evil ass dog that's just fucking good lord.
So I think this movie's French.
So this movie is gonna have a lot more skull fucking than maybe Gigli would, but
it's either a Gigli predecessor or a movie about poodles.
Guys,
one or the other.
I'm excited now.
Anything else, and I'll be disappointed.
Anything less than constant nudity. Do foreign films, can they win Best Picture?
Yeah, there's nothing stopping. Do you think it's a foreign film?
Well, I mean, I don't know. We've started talking in French. That maybe
Gigi
it's French.
Just sounds foreign.
Gigi does sound foreign.
What's your best get of the plot? Like, if somebody said 1958 Gigi, what's it about? Go.
Oh, I would say that it's about a young woman named Gigi, surprise, and she grows up on a farm, and she was...
You're going to get this right, aren't you?
Yep, she was... Yeah, I actually just watched it before I came over. This whole thing was a ploy, like, I thought it was Gigli. Be like, I just saw it. No, she grew up on a farm, and then there were Nazis, and then the Nazis came, and they were like, don't do what you're doing. And she was like, but I want to. And then she gets eaten because she's a werewolf secretly.
What?
And then a vampire. And then, but the Nazis are all vampires. And then it's really about Nazis and vampires.
Yes.
And that battle, but that's a metaphor for heaven and hell. The end.
Oh my God, we have, and that makes sense because this is, World War II, definitely still on the brain, and also vampires and werewolves, timeless love story. I mean, Twilight.
Or maybe, what if it's GI, like General, like two GIs from wars?
So like a homosexual love story between GI Joe and GI Jack.
Yes.
Okay,
I like that one too.
This is a lot of good movies we're coming up with.
Yeah. Should we just...
Let's watch it.
Okay, yeah. Let's watch it. This is going to be good. Oh, is that the logo?
Oh, no. What happened?
Ooh, I'm digging the logo.
Yeah, the logo's cool.
Ooh,
oh, shit.
B&W.
It's black and white. All right, let's try that again. There we go. Well...
I like the lion.
The lion's in color. So... Does that mean it's not a foreign movie? Because it's an American company, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Arthur Fred Production.
Okay. Gigi.
It looks like they wrote that in blood.
Ooh, Leslie Caron. She is hot and a good dancer. Maurice Chevalier.
Ooh, this is sounding French.
Yeah.
Louise
Jourdan. I heard he was the Michael Jordan of the state.
Hermione Gingold.
And Ava Gabor. Of the New York Gabors. Lyrics. Oh, it's a musical.
Oh,
yay!
This is good.
Do you like musicals?
I do like... I liked Moulin Rouge a lot. I like a lot of bad movies. That's why I thought, Gigli... I was gonna...
Okay. Based on the novel by somebody just called Colette. No last name. That's when you know it's a good novelist.
And they're just,
like the Madonna of French novel writers. Right. Moulin Rouge is not a bad movie.
Right? I really liked.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Who's the guy?
Baz Luhrmann.
Oh, I was gonna say the actor, the one in the modern one that Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. Yeah.
Dude, I had no idea he could sing like that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, whew.
He's got that good
Scottish.
He only has like 12 notes, but he really nails them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no notes.
I have 5. I was given 5 notes that I can sing, and most songs require 6.
I'm jealous.
Oh, we're acknowledging the gardens and parks of Paris? Oh my god, okay. I apologize in advance, but if this is really shot in Paris, I'm going to have like multiple meltdowns.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've always wanted to go to Paris, and I read about it constantly to like sort of make myself feel better. I wonder if Vincente Minnelli is Liza Minnelli's dad or something.
It's in color.
Nice hat.
It's a big hat. A lot of big hats.
She looks like Big Bird with the face ripped off.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean that in a way that's attractive.
Right. The faceless.
Yeah.
Big Bird's.
Oh my god, not only is it Paris, but it's turn of the century Paris. Cute dog, bring back the dog.
Good afternoon.
What?
As you see, this lovely city all around us is Paris. And this lovely park is, of course, the Bois de Boulogne. Pardon me.
Wow, breaking the fourth wall.
Who am I? Well, allow me to introduce myself. I am Honoré Lachaille, born Paris. Dead? Not lately. This is 1900, so let's just say not in this century. Circumstances? Comfortable. Profession? Lover and collector of beautiful things.
Okay, so you're a horny old man. Got it.
It's a professional lover. Oh, and he's eyeing that lady down, not...
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Tell me if you want subtitles.
What for?
Oh, we can...
Now, please don't
Should we pop them on?
Like
if you want, sure.
Most
I mean...
people in Paris get married, but not all.
See if they're annoying. Oh, perfect. They're below the screen. Yeah, let's leave them on.
And some who do not marry. But here in Paris, those who will not are usually men, and those who do not are usually women.
Well, that's reductionist.
Now, for example, here we find Exhibit A, the married kind. These ladies stood their ground and won, and I salute them, everyone.
What'd they win? Men?
Looks like it.
Wow!
Okay.
That was a fucking hat.
For whom the best have never told. Oh, what a
Look at that hat!
That is a...
pair. In those
I don't even know which
Napoleon
one I'm
hat.
talking about.
I know. The hats in this movie are... the entire budget was spent on hats.
There's Sexy Big Bird.
Yeah. Oh.
There's Sigmund Freud.
Colonel Sanders.
Get it, girl.
Look at...
Aha.
Okay, I'm already in love with this movie.
Yeah, this is...
This is the horniest movie I've
This
seen in a
is-
long time.
There is the future.
Hell yeah, it is.
Girls are just throwing a ball back and forth.
Someday, each and every one of them will either be married or unmarried. How
Yes.
adorable.
That is one way to
Each
classify
time I see
people.
a little girl of 5 or 6 or 7,
Careful.
I can't resist to smile and say thank heaven for little girls.
Oh,
He's serenading a 6-year-old right now. If you...
Get bigger every day.
Oh my god!
Good God!
For little girls,
What the fuck?
they grow up in the most delightful way.
Oh my...
Super perv.
Life so helpless and appealing.
So helpless little eyes.
Flash and send you crashing through the ceiling.
Is he talking about boners?
Heaven for little girls.
He's saying thank heaven for little girls, and she's to a 6-year-old.
Yes.
This guy's 79.
No matter who, without them, what would little boys do?
Behave themselves.
Jeez.
Thank heaven.
I'm not very worried that he's holding a pair of gloves the whole time.
Oh, I know. You know, no fingerprints.
Yeah.
Girls.
Okay, wow. This is gonna be a ride.
Yeah.
Stories about a little.
I do like that his name is Gaston, though. Now I can hate him properly.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the pleasures, all the myriad of treasures.
He's
we
singing
have got.
again about little girls.
Look at Paris in the spring when it's
The only thing that motivates him to sing is pussy.
Is the push of like young, like
Yeah.
yeah.
saying, look at me,
What color are the trees?
green,
What color were they last year?
green,
And next year?
green.
She looks like she's wearing a circus.
Yeah, this is the Ringling Brothers outfit. Oh, the Big Bird, the face without a face is back.
Yes. I think she's getting closer to Big Bird's face at this point.
Yeah, that is a nose that, yeah.
It's classic.
It's yeah. And look at the nose on that guy in the back, with the mustache.
Fuck yeah.
She's a lovable one tonight, isn't she? What is she up to?
Who said that?
Gay tonight. She's like spring tonight.
Oh, was Gaston thinking this?
Frolicking thing tonight.
Oh.
So disarming, soft and charming. She is not thinking of me. No, she's not.
Shut your jealous trap.
thinking of me.
Oh, is this his internal song?
Yeah.
There's a glow tonight. They're so bright they could light for the glow tonight.
He's
She's so gracious,
feeling bad
so
because she's
gracious.
happy.
Yeah.
She is not thinking of me.
Oh, at least
Less a little.
this feels Ben Affleck-y.
Yeah, this is the Geely part.
This is the Shealing part. Fuck her.
Acting out a part.
Say whore.
What a rollicking,
Frolicking?
ball.
Ah, so close.
You could spread her on bread. She's so sweet tonight.
Yeah.
He does not like girls his own age.
That
No.
is heart warming to see. Oh, she's simmering with love. Oh, she's shimmering with love. Oh, she's not thinking of me.
Dude, maybe she's just comfortable in your company and not spending every waking hour she has making sure you're happy anymore because she trusts you to be in charge of your own emotional state. Sorry. I'll let
Yep,
it go.
no. I think that's exactly what he's thinking.
She
He
Someone
is.
has set her on fire. Is it Jacques? Is it Paul or Leon?
Probably Ringo.
Who's turning her face up higher? Oh, she's hot, but it's not for Gaston.
I think she's just
Oh,
hot.
she
Man, this is a possessive motherfucker.
Oh, so gay tonight.
I wish.
A gigantic romantic cliche tonight. How she blushes, how she gushes, how she fills me with ennui.
Oh, the problem's with you. I think we just figured it out.
Man.
Oh, she's not thinking of me.
Well, at least he's good at not communicating to her, you know?
That always helps her.
Oh, he just dumped
my
the shirt
God.
out! Dumped the drink down her shirt.
And all she did was give him a weird look. She just put Prosecco in her cleavage.
Of course you don't, but you're not going to let a woman have the last word, are you?
Oh, I don't like this
Where
at
is your
all.
sense of honor? Your male patriotism?
Your male patriotism? Oh my God.
How would you end it?
Whoa, those pants are
I'll write her a
high up.
Do not let the alt-right hear the phrase male patriotism. We can never get the end of that shit.
Victor Hugo could put it up.
Then I'll telephone her.
Then what will you say? Jan, you deceived me with a skating instructor. I never want to see you again.
This does feel like a Trump Jr. conversation.
Oh, that's impossible. That's true.
You gotta go there and grab her by the pussy.
Yeah.
You go to Honfleur and throw her out like a banana.
That's a ball.
Oh, not at all. It's pride. Just imagine your chagrin
Huh?
when she sees you wandering.
Why does this guy get so many songs? He can't sing.
Can't sing and he's just singing about
Daughters with a scream. What will she do? Scream? What did you all
women
do?
screaming.
Scream? What do they all do? Scream! It's a ball.
But think of the place of the pleasure you will miss when she topples in a heap and you leave her there to weep on the floor.
He's singing about making her cry.
Right, yeah.
Catch her if you can.
It'll be fun.
Not only that, but like we have to make our entire day's plan to get
Yeah,
her to
let's-
cry.
Because it'll be hilarious.
Right, or else we're not men.
And the servant is down for it too.
Oh, sure. Talk about a world where male privilege rules. You're a dude. You find a hottie, get her to cheat on her boyfriend, and then you get paid.
I mean, what do you think my job is? This is what I do for my personal job every day, Karina. That's what I just came from, is ruining a marriage.
And then getting paid to just stop doing that?
Yes, for $85
Oh my
to
God.
Starbucks.
Do you
It
do that
was-
like with TaskRabbit? Or like how
Yeah,
do you...
I find a lot of where my LinkedIn profile is outstanding.
I'm gonna order up Favor.
Yeah.
Just
get
get
a favor.
Just get a dude to come over here and kiss me, and then until someone comes and pays him to leave.
Uh-huh. Yep. Oh my God, front page of the paper.
Nice.
Sugar Prince breaks up with lady. Wow.
What happened?
Oh, I like that bed.
Sounds like someone has committed suicide. Again?
What?
No. I'm sorry, girl. What did you say?
Suicide.
No.
Committed suicide again?
Does she mean socially, or are they making light of the fact that she killed herself?
Well, suicide back then is hilarious, so it's...
Of course.
Right.
Call me as soon as you hear anything.
Compared to Spanish flu.
Mwah. Paris, a god. Why didn't you tell me that Gaston and Leon had broken up? I didn't know it. It must have happened over the weekend. When was the suicide? Last night. How did she do it? The usual way. Insufficient poison. Hey, how many times has she done it?
Oh, failed.
Oh.
Suicide. Okay.
Wait, so she was eating in bed? Do they just always eat in bed? Is that a thing?
I don't know. It must be.
First suicide.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Are they bragging that she tried to kill herself? What
Yes!
an achievement!
Why? And you're first. Like this.
You did it.
This
You're
is. You're on your way to a merit badge or something.
Yeah.
Where is the champagne?
They're getting champagne for it.
Where did you get that fourth cake?
I won!
You thief!
You're on mutton head. Did we go to Trouville?
You mutton head.
Yes, you go to Trouville.
Hooray! Grandmama!
Oh, she's in his lap
Wow.
now. And he's like, oof, no, don't.
Oh my God.
She's sitting in his lap, chugging
This
champagne.
outrageous brat of yours
He spanked her.
Marvelous fun.
And tomorrow will we get? Can I watch?
Oh my God, the sexual tension is just.
Is it awfully?
It's not even sexual though. It's just more like
I don't know. She's
casual groping.
She's hot. He's hot. It's kind of.
I know, but like they're not trying to get together,
Oh,
which
is that
makes
not the
this
case?
weird. It doesn't seem like it.
I mean, she's straddling him in the chair and chugging champagne, and he's spanking her.
But she's doing it like innocently.
I cannot remember when I've been more amused.
And he-
She tickled him. You're right. I'm
No, I mean,
I
I
give
just, trust me, my mind just goes all straight to sex most of the
It's
time,
just
so.
weird because like her fucking grandma's right there and not disturbed by any of this.
Yeah. I feel like the grandma would jump in if it's France. Who knows? Maybe that's a thing.
Wow, now she's doing the can and showing her undies.
Yep. Well, she's getting a garter belt from him, so.
Yeah.
They invented champagne. It's plain as it can be. They thought of you and me. They invented champagne.
Oh, grandma can still do it.
Well, grandma still thinks she's the one winning this
Yeah.
game here.
Everyone in sight. That since the world began, a woman or a man has ever been as happy as we are.
Wow. They got drunk fast. Yep. Everybody's on the beach in their full outfits. Oh my god. Oh my god.
How do you not drown wearing
Yeah.
stockings and.
There's Gaston. I didn't know
Oh,
him.
creepy old man's back. Thank God.
Is that Uncle Nasty?
Yep. Oh. Gaston's dragging her into the water.
And we are on very important business.
Yeah.
I will say, play fighting in the water's pretty sexy.
Wait, is he fucking peeping?
Oh, looks. Ooh, that's who we should get with somebody his own age. Get with the mamita.
Yeah.
Whoa. That guy bringing a couple lemonades into the stall? Yes, sir. He's bringing a couple.
Oh, what the
Is
hell?
he coming in?
He was planning to peep and he got spotted by Grandma.
Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely, I mean, feels French.
That is not how
She-
you play tennis.
That is she is standing straight, hitting the ball, playing tennis, wearing a wedding gown. That is. Oh yeah.
Yeah, go Gigi.
Gigi's out there fucking hustling though. She's also wearing a wedding gown.
That's right. She's going Billie Jean King on this shit.
Yep. Oh man, this bitch.
Who is she?
Maybe she's just that good. She's.
Honestly, a good tennis player doesn't have to move much.
That's right. Oh, Gigi's just loving life though. You know, she's rolling in the clay.
Yeah. Well, Gigi's gonna be the one to get some at the end of the day here.
Are these what tennis outfits were?
Yeah.
Slacks and a.
Yep. Wow. Bareback on a mule. This could not be more explicit.
Yep.
Here.
Is that what they rode mules at the beach?
I guess. Yeah, the donkey's not gonna go.
Yeah.
He does love to spank things.
Oh, Mamita just is loving it.
Remember the firm grip. No, the coffee pot first.
You know, if she'd just gone to Montessori school, she would have learned all this when she was 5.
Yeah. Oh, she spilled the coffee. You're never gonna have sex now.
Try it
This
once.
is-
You will go to the door properly.
Is this like
walk in properly and sit down?
a bunch of
Now
Mr.
go.
Miyagi style lessons?
That
Like,
exactly.
all of this
This
is gonna
is-
come into play.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not
Final
fucking
battle.
you until you walk to the door.
Back and sit down.
She ends up like in a BDSM club with him, leading him by the chain, holding him with the coffee cup.
pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a child. A
Yes.
silly child.
Okay, yeah.
Adolescent to her toes, and good heaven, how it shows.
I feel like this is internal debate on fucking a child. And he's
Yeah.
like, don't do it, she's a kid.
A clumsy
But-
child. She's as swollen as a grape, and she
Swollen as
doesn't
a
have a
grape.
shape. Where a figure ought to be, it is not.
So you've been looking at that figure, huh?
Like he's just singing in public, like somebody just standing behind him, like, is this guy just talking, singing about banging kids?
He's just
Like,
raving about pedophilia.
Yeah.
And the rat doesn't know where she is at, unequipped and undesirable to men.
Talking about girls in cribs and banging them.
I think she's equipped, man.
Oh yeah.
What? In truth, confess that in that brand new little dress,
He's singing this around statues of naked kids now. What's this?
and had a definite view.
You know, there's a very simple formula for figuring this whole dilemma out, dude. It's called an age of consent, and you could probably just look it up.
I was gonna.
On one so young.
I mean, if you're just curious about, like, how fucking old she
A
is.
girl. A little girl. Getting older, it is true, which is what they always do, till that unexpected hour when they blossom like a flower. Oh no.
You talking about taking her flower?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And then he just realized that
Oh no,
she'll be too old for him at some point,
Yeah.
and that'll be
And
horrible.
he'll just have to make her commit suicide.
When she speaks, isn't there
Hmm? Who are you talking to?
a different bloom
He is staring at
about
something.
her cheeks? Isn't there?
Well, he was talking to us. He got distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Could I be wrong?
Obviously.
Could it be so? Oh where did Gigi go?
She's back at the apartment. It's here for the Swans.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Looking double, triple Paris out there.
Nice.
Gigi, am I a fool without a mind? Or have I merely been too blind?
I think, can it not be both?
This is how Gigi is also. I'm getting why it didn't have the acclaim that everyone expected.
It's just 2 hours of Ben Affleck worrying that Jennifer Lopez is too young for him.
He's like,
When meanwhile she's clearly 25.
yeah. Is she too young? I met her in middle school. I mean, was she the teacher though? I don't. Oh, I still want to bang her. I don't care.
Okay.
There's a lot of random chairs around in Paris.
You never
Just
know
take
when
a
you need to
seat.
sit. Yeah.
Blinking at a star. Oh, Gigi, have I been standing up too close or back too far?
Wow. You are overthinking this.
When
Yeah.
your sparkle turn to fire,
Sparkle turned to fire.
and your warmth become desire. Oh, what?
I don't think if you grew up with somebody and knew them as a kid that you can bang them just when they become of age. You know, I feel like they're always kind of a.
Gigi,
I don't know how to put this, but it's so telling that the emotional arc of their relationship is happening in a monologue from just the dude.
Yeah.
Like, she has nothing to do with
Yeah,
it.
it's
He's
not,
literally
I
having
decide. I decide if we fuck.
This, yeah, he's
Yeah.
having this entire relationship all by himself.
Yeah. It's like all he would have to do is have tea with the grandma, and he's like, no, fuck that, alright? I'll fuck her.
glad not to have seen the change.
Oh, he's walking back.
Yeah. Now he's running back.
Trembling on the brink, was out yonder somewhere.
He's just talking about how she like turned of age, and now he wants to. This is
Gigi,
awesome.
have I been standing up too close or back too far?
What do you think he is?
40?
When
Yeah.
did your sparkle turn to fire and your warmth become desire?
Again, you're asking a lot of questions of somebody who's flat out not there.
Miracle
Yeah.
has made you the way you are.
I guarantee you, Bryan Singer's seen this movie.
Yeah. Don't do it, Gigi. You're better
Oh,
than
he's
him.
running up the stairs.
No,
back to her.
You're too good for him. He's
Gonna
petulant and
knock on
stupid.
that door with that hard dick.
He's bored by trees being the same color every year. He'll be bored by you within 6
Yeah.
months.
Good. I have an important business matter to discuss.
Yeah, fucking business, baby. Let's go.
All right. So
Time to close some
I
deals.
decided we're having a relationship, and now I'm going to negotiate it with you. And
To begin with,
There's the sister in a
she
bath.
would be spoiled as she would be spoiled as no other woman has ever been before.
No more need.
This does make me want to go to Paris. Everything's like they're keep having wine and cheese and little gardens.
beautiful flowers. I know.
Telling those lies. She isn't.
I really want you to stop talking to me, sir. Please.
I know. He's the only one. He's the one guiding the narrative.
Forevermore, forevermore is shorter than before. Oh,
What if the movie... Because it seems like it's driving in the right direction, but what if the movie veers back and, like, Gigi caves in?
I
lose
hope
it.
so. That'd be the. You know what? Let's put that twist. I don't want to have a. I don't want to guess the ending. I don't want it to be happy and.
Want like her too. I'm glad I'm not young anymore.
And sure
Fucking
you are,
liar.
right?
The longing to end the stale affair until you find out she doesn't care. I'm glad that I'm not young.
This is how you know he doesn't need Viagra.
Oh
No
yeah.
more frustration. No star-crossed lover
Yeah.
am I.
Bro, you're having lunch alone and drinking during the day. Yeah, your life is.
Just one real
You nailed it.
with blood.
Never change.
Never change.
The fountain of youth is dull as paint. Methuselah is my patron saint. I've never been so comfortable before.
Wow, this is a self-pep talk that is so sad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I'm not young anymore.
Wow, doing the 50s Sinatra thing in 1900, huh?
Wow. He can't even.
You didn't pay for your cheese!
Oh yeah, ran out on the cheese bill. Oh, she's sobbing on the phone silently at a puppet store.
What is going on in that window?
She- Oh, black face! Oh my god.
That scared me!
That was not.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
the wolf is coming to eat Grandma.
Yeah. Mama's getting up. She's gonna put her gowns on.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna wear a piece of lace over my hair for no reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. Man, he is miserable. What is he? He finally got his girl out. Why? You can't have fun for one night.
To be fair, I'd be miserable if this dude showed up too.
She changed her mind? Obviously. How delicious. Did you have to improve the arrangement? Please don't be vulgar.
Yeah, that a boy.
Now she looks adorable.
Oof.
So fresh. So eager.
That's creepy motherfucker.
Young.
Fuck.
You
It's
got
not
so
easy to
young.
get women to get boring so quickly. What can they give you? Everything but surprise. But with someone like Gigi, she can amuse you for months.
Months.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. I can't wait to tell Manuel. Good night. Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at that. The hats.
I don't think he wants his life anymore.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, give up all your shit.
Oh, now they're gonna say some shit.
Oh, she's storming. They're storming out.
Are they gonna finally have a real relationship conversation? Oh, he made her cry. He should be happy.
Yeah.
He's holding his hat on a stick.
Oh my god. First date, she's sobbing. Bro, you need to.
Gigi, what's happened?
I thought you were gonna fuck.
What's happened?
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Slowly walking away with his hat on a stick. That is.
This is how every date with Jeff Dunham ends. He is a poor communicator.
Yeah, why don't you just say what's bothering you, you dick?
He needs a shrink.
Yeah.
He's gonna sing it out now.
Is this the. Becomes. He starts murdering prostitutes or something? This is.
It does look very Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Hey, you look like a cool silhouette. Want to ride?
Yeah. You want?
Man, he was just in the way of that.
He's just moping around that fountain again, where he just talked himself into banging kids. Now he's
not feeling it.
Yeah.
Maybe he's gay.
That would be how I want this to end.
That'd be
because,
awesome.
I mean, the first night out, you can't.
Well, clearly this movie should have been called Gaston.
Yeah.
Yeah, we cannot leave his side.
What? And now he's slowly walking back.
And all I want to know is how is Gigi feeling? But no.
Right. They don't focus on that at all. Oh. Wow. He's so mature to walk back to her apartment, point his stick at her. He just keeps pointing his stick.
He's such a baby.
He's such a bitch.
Yeah, I'd stay in that makeup all night too.
Oh man, she looked great. This dramatic asshole with this.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right, are we gonna get a real talk now? Can we have a real talk?
Oh, please. No newspapers, no scandal.
Madame, will you do me the honor, the favor? Give me the infinite joy of bestowing on me Gigi's hand in marriage.
Whoa, well,
What?
you were just a dick to her. You should say no.
You should ask her. Because
Why is she happy about that?
she did the cigar thing right now
I mean, but
Thank him.
for little girls. Ah!
little.
No, that's not the lesson.
All little girls get bigger every day. Thank heaven
Back to the same beginning.
What the hell?
they grow up in the most delightful way.
Oh my god!
Those little eyes so helpless.
Oh, that's not her color. Nope.
Wow, that is
No.
a lot of pink.
I don't like any of that.
Whoa.
She was knocking it out of the park with every outfit until that
Yeah.
one.
That was
No matter where, no matter who, we
like a 4-horse carriage. Nice.
Wow, they had a lot of faith in that song.
Yeah. Okay. Thank him for little girls so that he could fuck. That's the end of the
man.
movie. How is that how that ends? Was this the only movie made in 1958? So the twist ending of that movie was that there was no ending, and it was just like, Gaston is like, yeah, you know what? I hate you. I'm gonna fuck this date up, and then make you cry. And
Yep.
then, like most emotionally abusive people, be like, "All right, no, it's because I love you. Let's get married." And
Right,
then-
and I'm not going to repeat this pattern ever again, even though I've already done this to you
even
3
though
times
it's all
without
that
us
I've
even
done.
dating. Yeah,
without us even dating, I promise that.
Yep.
Good God,
I've already established a pattern of emotional abuse with yourself and others, and it's worldwide and world-renowned, and you spotted it and you rejected me for it. But here you go. Do you want to marry me?
Yeah, and then her acceptance of his proposal was, "I would rather have a miserable life with you than a miserable life without you." And it's like, oh, were those the two options for
I don't
ladies?
think
the
so.
ladies, yeah, two.
She didn't ever say the other. She didn't ever say the other option. She said, "I'd rather be miserable with you." She didn't lay out the alternative, which was then perfectly happy.
Then yeah, just
whatever.
Like, I mean, her spinster ass like grandmas seemed to be doing fine.
Totally.
You know, they had all the jewels. They were banging kings and stuff.
Going to school,
I don't understand.
drinking free wine at grandma's or
What
her
she
aunt's?
was slamming champagne every time she went to grandma's, and grandma was just feeding it into her. Was there a lesson in this movie? Is there
No, it couldn't. In 1958, they couldn't go all the way on the lesson that they kind of laid out and they kind of set up, but they just couldn't fucking do it. They couldn't fucking get all the way to, women have it pretty shitty in this society. Maybe we should listen to what they really want and need. It walked all the way up to that line and then just made her cry and asked her to marry him.
Then it walked back, like when the grandpa was, or the creepy uncle was like, he's out there clearly like, date raping all these like 20-year-olds and he's like 89. And then when you think there's this breakthrough when they're at the beach and he's like talking to the grandma like, oh, do you remember when we had those special nights? And then they were... And grandma was like, yeah, I don't...
She just keeps reminding him, I dumped you.
Yeah.
Like, you had it and you lost it, buddy.
And then he's like, oh, I remember. And then he doesn't actually remember. And then he's like, yeah, and then, fuck this, Soprano, the other one. And then I'm like, oh, so he's going to get with her now and show that, you don't have to just get the younger... And then, no, it cuts to the other scene and he's, like, back with another 16-year-old. And
yeah, I think the end of that song is literally him just going, good times.
Yeah. Good times, Good times.
And then he has a whole other song about it that the message of that song is essentially good times. I'm glad I'm not young anymore.
I'm so glad I'm not young, but I still get to fuck young people, and because it doesn't matter because I'm broing out. And
yeah, the sexual. I did not realize this would be a sexual politics movie with no redeeming qualities. So thank you for enduring that.
That was good. I mean,
it had its entertaining moments.
It was not something. I mean, if this is the setup for Gigi, then I am amped to see where they take it. But I understand the pushback.
I can honestly say this movie was exhilarating. I was never bored, but it was exhilarating in a way that was negative. Like, I was just taken aback at almost every move it made.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while it would take a step forward and he'd be like, oh, are they going to actually turn this boat around? And they didn't. So there's like a lot of drama in it, but it wasn't the drama they made. It was more like, how awful could this be?
Right.
And it was damn awful.
And it didn't show like a blatant, like, at the end, like, oh, this is just life back then. Like, it's like, oh, she just... went with him, and it's like, oh, it's, sad, but that it was like, oh, she's happy now, and she's smiling, and it's like, no, you're not. Like, don't.
She was just crying.
She was crying, and then. So, the moral, I think, is if you get rich enough, you can do whatever the fuck you want, and, Bryan Singer's still making movies, so this is.
Okay, so, I think there's two morals to this story. I think that's moral number one.
Right.
And I think that was an intentional moral. I think the intentional moral is rich people get to make a lot of mistakes and still win in the end.
Right.
And then I think there's the unintentional moral, which this movie did not set out to convey, but it did a very good job of conveying it, and that is that men are pigs. I mean, I think that this is the most clear. I'm not reading into it. I didn't have to study Gertrude Stein in college, even though I did. I didn't need that feminist studies minor that I got in order to see that this movie proves that men are pigs.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was shocking.
It was, and I couldn't tell. Is this how it was in the? I mean, because they put this out in the 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like, oh, but this is the 1900s. It was is this supposed to be like, oh, this was a different time where this was?
No, I don't think. I think they were grafting 50s morals onto
I think
Belle
that's
Epoque
right.
Paris. No, I mean, there were some details there, like the negotiation of the kind of mistress contract that were very much Parisian morals and everything of the time. And that was kind of cool, actually, to see that be accurately portrayed for like a history nerd like me who's really into France. But I think the emotional back and forth about thank heaven for little girls men are just naturally going to want a new one every 3 months, but every once in a while an extra special one comes along who makes you want to get married.
Yeah.
That's all 50s. I feel like that's all 1950s America right there.
Where that's the goal. That's what you're aiming for.
And they only had to step backward in time to avoid certain questions like, can you make a living not getting married? In the 50s in America, no. In 1900s Paris, you could whore around and actually do pretty well for yourself. And I think that's what they were...
That's what those ladies were doing. Yeah. She's like, look at all my jewels from banging the king. Little king.
They had to do that in order to provide an actual alternative for Gigi. Because in America, it would just be like, well, suck it up and do it. Because if you don't get married, you're fucked economically.
Yeah.
You know?
I did like, none of them have jobs. Like, I guess in the beginning, he was supposed to be a stock trader or something.
He owns a sugar plantation, which is only hinted at. It's brought up a couple of times, but if you think about it, that means that he basically owned slaves. He had a long family history of slavery in the Americas somewhere that he was wealthy because of.
Well, you know.
Yeah. History is fun.
Wow. Well, so what do you think? Did you see that again?
No.
Would you recommend it?
No.
What did this movie beat out? What movie was not as good as this movie?
As Gigi. Now, 1950s is not like a time that I'm like familiar with. Academy Awards. So this beats out Mame, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, which is very good. The Defiant Ones.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Cat on the Hot Tin Roof had Paul Newman
and Elizabeth Taylor. Right. Oof. So it got Best Screenplay.
My God.
Wow.
Beat out The Horse's Mouth for Best Screenplay. I Want to Live! !
Well, The Horse's Mouth with
Guinness?
Obi-Wan Kenobi in it.
Yeah. What? You know.
So Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, I think, is the one that stood the test of time from this year. But Vincente Minnelli, I want to see, is that Liza Minnelli's dad? I want to say it is. Yes.
Wow.
Married to Judy Garland.
I don't like it. I do, and it's weird how they do call it Gigi, and it was all about Gaston or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it was... I think this was from an era where when a movie was about a woman, it was about a man wanting a woman. And that made it about a woman. Yeah. It wasn't like the woman's story. None of those movies are about a woman's story. They just literally weren't made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They made movies for women that showcased a lot of men being nice for once and a lot of music and cool costumes.
Yeah.
Which I think this movie falls into that category, even though they don't seem that nice to us anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, he was nice enough to not cast her aside and tarnish her reputation in the newspapers.
I mean, we assume, but I feel like when they did that cutaway to him finishing that that thing, it was only like a little bit in the future, so it's not like they had like a bunch of kids or anything.
Right.
Yeah, it's wild. My grandmother was one of the first female state senators in West Virginia, and the only relevance I would be to this is when she got elected, she realized that, because I guess women could vote at that time, but a lot of the marketing for politicians was put in the mail, and only the men got the mail. And then
literally picked it out of the mail.
Literally, that was like a male mass thing to do, is that they get the mail, and then if there's anything they wanted the women to see, they would give it to them. So she realized this and would she would send recipe cards in the mail. And then I guess men would see it and they'd be like, oh, recipe, pie, make me a pie. And then would hand it to the women. And then on the back it had vote J. Spears, her men. And so that's how she kind of was able to get her marketing stuff passed to beat the guys that were running, because women just weren't really in politics at that point.
Right.
And so you couldn't, they didn't have billboards and stuff like that, or only the guys could afford it. And so that's how she kind of would sneak in and do that kind of...
And did she get the women? I mean, they didn't probably have sophisticated polling back then, but did that get the women to vote for her?
Yes.
Put her on the top?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Holy
I mean,
cow.
She definitely was, once she got in, was very well respected by the guys, because she just is one of those women that had a silver tongue and didn't...
Kind of like an Ann Richards type.
Yes. Yeah. Very exactly like an Ann Richards type. And So yeah, it's just the only reason I say that it's interesting. How
That's amazing. And yeah, I think, the sexual politics of this are so fucking 50s.
Yeah.
That it does, I'm sure it did seem like a movie about Gigi to them, but like, think about Gigi and how much we get of her actual interior thoughts. It's she gets one scene where she expresses how she really feels,
right.
and that's when she's rejecting Gaston.
Right.
That's it.
And then literally
the rest of the time she's either drunk or happy.
Right. I know. And then the culmination of that is her rejecting him and then just finally being like, fine. Yeah. I'll take this miserable life with you.
I thought about it and that was really dumb because you're rich.
Yeah, exactly. But I know it's not going to be enough. And
I swear I thought he was going to turn around and be like, no, you're right.
Right?
If we're going to be together, I will dial down I'll
cut my bullshit. Yeah,
I'll cut the bullshit. We won't have to go to parties. We won't have to do all the things. We'll keep a quieter life because I'd rather have a quiet life than you. Than a life of fame and fortune with everybody watching. The opposite happened. He was like, okay, we'll put on a wedding dress.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to the socialites club and have every one of our moves watched. And then I'm going to storm out and make you seem like you sucked.
Right. I'm going to cause a scene. I'm going to cut the night short. I'm going to make you cry on our first fucking date.
On our first date.
And then I'm going to throw you into your grandmother's arms, not say a word, and then storm off. And then have my little emo moment, and then like come back and be like, "Can I marry her?"
Without apologizing.
Without saying a word. Mm-mm. She's still crying, and then he's just like, "Can I marry her?"
Back and I'm going to buy you, and because that's what it was in France pre-women's rights. That women's rights movement was in France. It was much more about economic freedom than the suffrage. That's why women didn't get the right to vote till much later in France, and they didn't honestly care because they had a much more pressing issue, which was they had the fewest legal rights of anybody in any Western country.
Wow.
Like, in America, you'd have problems where you would get married and then like all the bank accounts would be in your husband's name and stuff, but you were at least legally allowed to own property.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just not traditionally done.
Right.
In France, the minute you got married, you literally weren't legally a person anymore. You were one with your husband, and therefore your husband had the voice, the vote, the money, everything.
Holy shit.
And if anything happened to that marriage, you literally disappeared off the face of the planet and you were thrown back to your family to take care of you. You couldn't get a job. You couldn't do anything.
Man, see, if I'm the man in that situation, I don't want that pressure.
And that was the problem. So the women were chasing the men because they were like, they don't want to get married. There's nothing in it for them. They own a woman now.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's terrible to throw one away, right?
Right.
So, yeah, that's why... in France, infidelity was so much more tolerated because it was sort of like, hey, look, does it suck that he's sleeping around? Yeah, but I can't.
What's the alternative? Yeah.
I'm nobody without him.
Right.
Literally, legally, I'm nobody without him.
That is...
And at least I can use his name and money while he's fucking around.
Wow.
Yeah. So...
Thank God
that all got
for little girls.
Fucking kind of glossed over.
Yeah, right?
Know?
Man, this,
There's
I love did they ever
movie.
establish how old she was?
No.
Like, just that she was in school.
I think
and that the 40-year-old family friend was coming over and like...
Yep. They purposely kept it very vague, and I'm guessing it's because in the novel she was shockingly young.
Okay.
Like, even for that time, like, an American audience wouldn't deal with it.
Right.
That's just my total guess, though. Is that, like, canonically she's 15 or 14 or 13 or something like that. But this movie makes a lot more sense if she is grossly young.
Right.
The central conflict of him not wanting her makes a lot more sense if she's 13 or something like that.
Yeah. But then he has that song where he's like, oh, you're a kid, you're in the crib, but I kind of want to fuck you. Well, but you're like just a child. But
turns out you must have he stopped.
Came out, so let's
That's what turned him around. Is he's on the bridge and he says the word bloom like a flower, and then I think it hits him like, oh, you flowered, like, oh, well, you probably got your period. So
throw my dick in there.
Yeah, exactly. quickly go.
Thank God for little girls. Thank God for little girls. What a way to book in that movie with the "Thank God for Little Girls" song.
Whew. Oh, it's inspired by the true life story of somebody named Yola. Yola Letelier.
YOLO. Why did I say YOLO? Yola.
Yola. You only live
You only live
adjacent to men.
There you go. Yoletum.
I think, is there anything else we need to dissect about the disgustingness of this very entertaining movie?
I mean, I
were you ultimately entertained?
I was entertained, but more I was captivated by trying to figure out what the fuck was going to happen or what was happening. Like it felt like they kept building to something that never came. Like the ancillary characters, like the grandmother and the grandmother's sister. And even the uncle, the creepy uncle, I felt like they never really did much with their character. Like, why are you the way you are? Why are you alone at these ages? How do you feel
about it? And, well, they do answer how they feel about it. They're delighted.
But then they're pushing her into getting married. So it's like, if you're delighted with your life, I don't understand why they were pushing, the one little kid that was there, and the thing that we need is the mom that they just stuck in a closet that they never referenced. That she would randomly sing those chords or
those
whatever
arpeggios.
Yes, and then whoever it was, the grandma would just shut the door that was coming from that room, and she was never referenced.
She is what Maya Angelou was talking about with the caged bird. Because why was that mom singing? You know what I mean? Like, practicing for her tiny parts in the opera. But, like, talk about, like, a dark side to the story that's never brought up is that Gigi is literally abandoned by her mother physically and emotionally.
Right.
She's just a singer in a closet, and she's literally raised by her grandmother. Maybe that's why she drinks. Yeah. Maybe that's why, like, every time the smallest piece of champagne is put in front of this 13-year-old girl, she downs it.
Yeah, and you would just...
I'm sorry, I've just decided she's 13.
I'm gonna agree with 13. That makes the most sense. Because, but they don't... She never talks... No one talks to the mom. They just literally... She sings, and they...
And they look down on her, and she has like a small... She's not an opera star, but then she has a job. She's bringing in dough.
Yeah.
If she works at the opera.
But she's like in the house.
She's a human being.
In the house, and they just are like, no, I'm going to sell you to... I'm not going to ask your mom, like, or anything. And it's... she's abandoned, but from like 8 feet away. And
man, that is a good metaphor for how they deal with the concept of women in general in this movie. Is like they make a little bit of noise, so you slam the door on them, and then you don't think about them anymore.
Well, and it's other women, I guess, that are doing it. So
and it's
maybe
women
that's
doing
kind
it.
of
yeah. It's that internalized misogyny is super strong in this movie. Whew.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, and here's another thing about this that I think is kind of unique, or I've never seen before. I've never seen a musical where a secondary character who has literally no effect on the plot gets all the songs.
Right.
Like, there were 7 songs for Uncle Nasty.
Right.
Maybe 2 for Gaston. 0 for Gigi.
Right.
She gets none. Does she get one song?
Well, she sang "Pray for Me."
Oh no, she sings 2. She sings "Pray for Me," and she also sings "Fuck Paris." Remember that little number? That was fun.
She has 2 short songs that are both like, "Pray for me."
My
this is gonna suck. It sucks. She's talking to the cat, her only drugged up friend, and.
You know what? I kind of like this movie because the more I realized they painted smiley faces on a lot of very dark stories, the more I'm starting to like it. Like, the old people are alone and depressed and trying to live vicariously through the young people. The main character that it's supposedly about, Gigi, is underaged and alcoholic and scared of life.
Right.
And the only 2 songs she sings about are depressing.
Yeah.
Gaston is clearly emo as fuck and bored and probably has clinical depression.
Yeah.
The only really truly happy person is Mamita.
Yeah.
And she's kind of well adjusted.
She seemed pretty well adjusted. She'd kind of go back and forth. She'd be like, I support...
she threw Uncle Nasty's
Gigi.
bullshit in his face without blinking an eye.
Hell yeah. She did.
And she supported Gigi when she was rebelling.
I feel like Uncle Nasty, though, was... I mean, he was such a creep and saying all this fucked up stuff. Like, they were like, yay, let's go make your ex try to kill herself. Oh my God, that'd be so much fun. Get your coat. Then we'll make a day out of it. I'll get a shave and then we'll go do it.
Hey, we succeeded. She tried to kill herself. Let's party.
And then it was in the paper. Oh, we got it in the paper. Yay, we did it. And then, there was nothing bad at the end of it. He's just like, thank God for little girls. Like, he's still
smiling and singing.
He's having the best time of his life. And it's like, all right.
That shit is dark as fuck.
Yeah.
And they are presenting it as a comedy. I think that's the thing about this movie. It's presented as a musical comedy.
Oh.
But it's barely a musical, and it's definitely not a comedy. To me, this is like a really dark story of toxic misogyny.
Right.
And if you watch it that way, it's fascinating and creepy and terrifying and kind of like skin crawling.
Right.
You just have to look past this veneer of sunshine, happiness, 50s musical that they paint. Everybody's smiling the whole time.
Yeah.
But if you think about their lives at all, they are all, except for Mamita, miserable.
Yeah. They're all miserable. And Mamita, she seems pretty content, but she is... alone. She sits alone in the apartment. She never leaves the apartment the entire movie.
Yeah, she's
all
got
she does
some
is
bad
cook.
going with daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like keeps her daughter in a closet and she talks shit about.
And we never did get confirmation, but I'm pretty sure Uncle Nasty's baby daddy for daughter, right?
I mean, that would make, but it would also be like, and you're down with him. Fuck it. I mean, that I don't understand any of the relationships, because he calls her Mamita, but she's not. I mean,
wow! If so if Gaston's uncle is Uncle Nasty,
mm-hmm.
and Uncle Nasty is baby daddy, that makes Uncle Nasty grandfather to Gigi,
right?
Which means that
their
Gaston
cousin or something
is her uncle.
Oh my God!
Right?
Yes, I mean that
half uncle.
Yep. No, I think it's uncle.
Wait, no.
If he
uncle,
uncle. It's straight uncle. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I really like Uncle Nasty.
Underage incest. This is I don't even think Pornhub would allow this shit. No. This is damn.
Okay, look, I do have to make it clear. Don't watch this movie, okay? Or if you're going to watch this movie, I'm glad you listened to this podcast.
Right.
Because I want you to watch it through the eyes that we just did of depression, incest, loneliness, and terror.
Right.
And that, I think, makes it an enjoyable and interesting movie.
Yeah. If you like musicals, this is not it. But you know what? This one is, yeah.
Don't break out the popcorn. Break out your, women's studies books and your pencils and get prepared to write a master's thesis on how fucked up this movie is.
Wild Saturday Night.
I had a fun time. Thank you for watching it with me.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We got an unexpectedly dark treat here.
Yeah. Next episode, we'll watch Gigi and do this too.
I can't wait till I do the follow-up to this podcast, which is the worst movies. I'll do all the Razzie winners or something.
Perfect. Yeah, that's what I want.
I think Gigi did win Worst Picture that year. Yeah.
It did. Yeah.
So you did just this week win runner-up in the Funniest Person in Austin contest. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Do you have anything coming up that you would like to plug or any ongoing projects where people can check you out?
I am trying to. I mean, a lot of the shows that I have coming up. I mean, I just did a weekend with your favorite person.
Yeah, I know.
And which I
don't blame you for. I've always said that's different. You're getting work from the club. It's not you're working for the headliner.
Yeah. Well, when we'll talk off about.
I'm in not enough trouble with Cap City about that. I am in plenty of trouble with them about that.
Oh God! And but no, I mean, I think if you wanted to, follow me on Instagram or HS Duncan, or if you're in Austin, do 512 I kind of post all the shows that I'm doing on there, so that's the best way to do it.
Right on. Check out Hunter Duncan if you're in Austin. Really on fire lately. Super funny guy. And thank you so much for joining me. And thank you, audience, for joining me. We will be back next week with another obscure one that will hopefully turn out to be fucking terrifying to our bones.
Good night.